Hi, my name is Lily Magdalena and this is my Bronze Arts Award in Filmmaking and Production.
For this part of my Arts Award, I decided to take part in Imaginarium Summer Camp. For this we had to make a short film over the week. In that week I really wanted to learn how to compose a variety of camera shots. My film is about a depressed girl who falls asleep after taking a pill. Somewhere between sleep and awake, she meets her past selves and must face the moments of her trauma. In my film you can see that I played around with many shots and I'm very happy with how it came out. We had a few struggles with the storyline and couldn't decide if we wanted to do flashbacks or not, but when I edited it everything seemed to fall into place. Something I probably could have done better is plan it a bit more, because in the shot when she falls over she doesn't have blood on her knee and then it magically appears in the next shot. So next time I'll probably make a storyboard and so that doesn't happen again.
For part B of my Arts Award, I watched Peter Pan by the National Theatre. I watched it online because I wasn't able to go and watch it. My overall thoughts were that it was an 8 out of 10, a very good production. And this is the conversation I had with my mum about the performance.
Lydia, tell me a little bit about your favourite character.
My favourite character was probably the dog, which I forgot the name of because I'm terrible.
Nanny.
It was Nanny. And it was funny because it was a person dressed with just like frilly stuff. And it was funny how they made it like a dog.
I like the way the dog was really intelligent. Like they really played on the fact that the dog was kind of the most intelligent.
More than the parents.
The parents needed the dog to function. My favourite character is Tinkerbell. What did you think of Tinkerbell?
It was like so random, the Tinkerbell.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was like a guy with a tutu on, with sparkly lights all over his head, and he did like funny accent and said random stuff that didn't make sense.
Yeah, I liked the fact that Tinkerbell was played by a guy, but it didn't feel like drag or didn't feel like really kind of feminine. It was just literally this, it felt like a guy who'd been trapped inside a fairy suit and was really angry about it. Do you think there was a really big difference from what you knew of the traditional story and the way that they staged it?
Well, I never actually really knew the traditional story because there's so many different versions of Peter Pan, but I think they did a very good job of how they did it, and I like that they played Captain Hook as a woman instead because I thought that was funny.
Okay, what impact do you think it had to cast Hook as a female? What difference did it make?
Probably because most of the characters in the original story are boys, so it's cool to make one of like the powerful characters a girl instead of all boys.
Yeah, definitely. There were some really big moments when they used some incredible lighting. Does any of them spring to mind?
When they flew to Neverland was cool. It was kind of like a movie poster because it was like all quite still, but then it was mainly just props and they were pretending that they were flying. It looked really cool.
What did you notice about the overall performance? What were some of the things you found exciting?
I thought it was funny and I liked how it was more improv style because it was obviously very choreographed, but they choreographed it like it was all improv. I thought that was cool, and I liked how it was mainly the audience had to use their imagination instead of them giving the audience everything.
Can you tell me an example of that?
Like when they were going to save Water Lily, the wolf person, on their travelling, they just pretended that there was a waterfall and that there were bugs on the floor and they had to run around, and if they were pretending that they were in like a forest, but they weren't, just a stage, they were running on the spot.
Do you think that did for the audience?
Well, it brought the audience in more, so then they felt more involved, and I thought it was good how they did that.
And the music, what did you think of the music?
I liked the music. The music was live, right? I liked how the music was live because it felt more like real.
Is there anything that you think you would have done differently?
I think if I could have done it differently, I'd probably add the dog in more because the dog's an amazing character.
They totally should have had the dog go to Neverland.
Yeah, because it would have been so much more funny.
And can you imagine the dog flying?
Yeah,
Really
I liked
good.
how they did the fairy strings. So then...
Yeah, you watch the fairy put the strings on himself, the ropes, the harness, and then lift off. And he would do it like really huffy, like he was bad-tempered, getting himself ready to fly.
I thought it was clever how they did the flying because you could see on the sides the people who were controlling the wire, and they're like jumping up and down ladders to make them go up and down.
Yeah, it's almost like the people who were doing all the props and things, they were part of the story, they were part of the storytelling. What effect do you think that has on the audience being able to see them? Do you think it takes away the magic or do you think it adds?
I think it adds to the magic because it's quite magical seeing how things are done and how much work's been put into making this world.
How would you rate the performance out of 10?
Out of 10, probably an 8.
You had to watch this online because you weren't able to get to the theatre. Do you think that you were able to get a good experience online, and do you think that it would have changed at all in person?
I think I got a good experience online because the cameras were kind of with the people, and it was like the cameras were part of the experience. And I liked how you could see more of the expression of the person who they wanted you to see at the time because they would put the camera on them. But then in person, you would just see everything, and I feel like it was easier to see online.
Okay, as a filmmaker, what did you learn seeing this live production filmed in this way? Were you surprised at how they did it? Did you learn anything?
I don't know if I learned anything, but I thought it was cool where the cameras were as like choreographed as the actual play was. It was very like you were there.
One of the things I think is really cool, obviously Neverland is all about pirates and ships and being at sea and mermaids and magic and all of that kind of thing. And theatre, they used to use sailors when they were on leave to operate theatres and do all the ropes and everything because they were so good with ropes and they knew how to do all that kind of thing. And so the way that they brought people in to fulfill those roles and to do it in front of the audience, to me, really added to that sense of adventure and excitement. And
I liked how they also, multiple characters played lots of different roles, like the dad also played Smeed, and also like the Lost Boy. They played a lot of characters.
What did you think? Why did you think that worked?
Well, you also you're like, oh, they played that character. It was cool spotting what different things they did. But then also, it's better to play multiple characters because then it's not just loads of people backstage waiting to do stuff.
Yeah, it's cheaper. And also a nice experience. Cool, thanks Lilia.
For part C of my Arts Award, I chose to learn about Benedict Cumberbatch. I chose Benedict because he's my favourite actor and is passionate about his job. Benedict says that the thing that inspires him the most is his children. Benedict has done lots of great films and TV series like Sherlock, Doctor Strange, The Hobbit, and his most recent work, The Grinch, and much more. I really love this clip of Benedict playing his role as Sauron the Dragon in The Hobbit.
I'm sorry.
And no doubt you purloined it for your filthy dwarf friend.
He looks like he is having lots of fun and doesn't care if he looks silly and gives his role his best. Benedict says he has always enjoyed making fun characters and took part in many school plays. He played a lot of girl parts when he was younger. Benedict's wife is called Sophie Hunter, who is an English theatre and opera director. They have 3 kids together, all boys. Benedict was born July 19, 1976. Through this research, I have been inspired by Benedict Cumberbatch's ability to mess around and have fun while still hold respect from his peers. This interests me because I like to have fun, but that means people don't take me seriously. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is so respected because of his ability to focus, commitment, and hard work. I'm going to try and add more focus and hard work to my process so that people will respect me more too.
All Avengers, get back on the bus, please. Now, guys, we thought we'd have a little bit of a sing-song, so we've written some lyrics.
For the last part of my Arts Award, I helped someone in Imaginarium with their Arts Award and taught them how to edit their work. This is my plan on how I will pass on my skill.
Lilia taught me how to add videos to my timeline and how to cut and edit footage and how to add music as well. I enjoyed it and I hope to do more editing in the future.
And that's my Bronze Arts Award in Filmmaking and Production. Thanks for watching.